WCBI News at 10 starts now.
The number of people in hospitals and the care they need takes a sharp increase today. Thank you for joining us tonight. Mississippi health experts report 862 new COVID-19 cases today and 23 deaths. 1,272 people have died in the state after being diagnosed with the virus. The Mississippi State Department of Health reports more people are in the hospital today with confirmed or suspected COVID-19. There are also record numbers in ICU and on ventilators. Now, masks still aren't required statewide in Mississippi, but there's a large association saying they should be. Courtney Jackson explains.
Governor Tate Reeves is describing what sounds like a juggling act, again noting that he realizes not all Mississippians are convinced of the COVID-19 dangers.
We've got to thread that needle of how do we get the best compliance, and I believe that the approach that we're currently taking is the right approach.
But the Mississippi State Medical Association says the virus doesn't know city limits or county lines. That's why they are calling for a statewide mask mandate.
This is the only tool we have left before we get to another lockdown. But we also know that, based on the science, that we can decrease the spread. And if we decrease the spread, we'll take the pressure off our hospital.
Dr. Thomas Dobbs tweeted this Tuesday morning showing how sharply hospitalizations have increased.
It's consistent with our predictions. 17% more or less of cases will end up hospitalized. So every time we add 500 new cases, you can predict we're going to have another 85 hospitalizations this year.
Reeves also criticized some of the state's hospitals, saying they could have done better with avoiding suspension of some elective procedures again.
Adhere to our executive orders, which require 25% of capacity in hospitals to be for COVID patients.
Ultimately, Reeves says his goal is the same as that of the Medical Association.
Courtney Jackson, WCBI News.
Reeves and the Medical Association both want more Mississippians to mask up. He just doesn't think the statewide mandate is the answer. The state of Mississippi continues to map out the plans for the upcoming school year. Each school district has its own set agenda for returning students, but how students will engage with teachers is raising concerns, virtual or in-class learning. Our Stephanie Poole speaks with parents about their decision for the school year.
Classrooms are silent and halls are empty, and the biggest question is if they will stay that way.
And I don't think this is a smart decision for them to want the kids to go back into that setting and around all the other kids and everyone else.
Cora Williams has two daughters, one in first grade and the other in third grade. She says with the threat of COVID-19, keeping her family healthy is the main priority.
Small kids, elementary age kids and Head Start age kids, they're not going to keep those masks on. They're still going to put their hands in their face and their mouth. They're going to touch stuff. They're going to touch each other.
Other parents like Stacy Brown are choosing to go virtual too.
The reason I'm doing that is because my concerns were her high risk for her asthma because of her lungs. And if she was to get the virus, how the virus would put her in the hospital. And then, it would also be harmful to me or my husband.
With rising cases each week, many parents say getting infected seems more likely to happen.
Around September, October, there's starting to be kids being out of school sick with strep throat. The flu season is right around the corner. They're out with flu and all that.
However, despite their uncertainty about virus exposure, they are optimistic their children will learn effectively from home.
She's like, I can pretty much sit there 8 hours, on a camera, as opposed in the classroom where she could be one-on-one with the teacher. The distractions of the children would be muted. So all she would hear would be the teacher. She said she liked that.
And hopefully, Brown says, the school system can implement after-hour tutoring for families.
I hope that the schools will be able to, help the children as well. And, they can maybe set up a program after school or something for the kids, virtual school, if it comes to that.
That was our Stephanie Poole reporting. Now, the Columbus Municipal School District has announced hybrid and virtual options for the fall semester. For information about your child's options, you're asked to visit the school's website or contact their school administrator.
We've enjoyed a pretty nice Tuesday evening, mostly sunny to partly cloudy all day long. There goes the setting sun in downtown Columbus. We've had a few wispy cirrus clouds come on in, but a great summer-like sunset. We should have sunsets like that since we are in the middle of summer. Currently 78 degrees in Columbus. It looks like we'll gradually cool down into the mid to low 70s and then shoot right back up into the 80s by mid-morning tomorrow. Highs on Wednesday, mid-90s here, 95 Columbus, 96 Tupelo, 93 in Louisville. We will throw in a chance for some spotty showers and storms during the afternoon and early evening. No big systems coming our way, but each and every day here, some spotty storms are possible. And it's going to feel like 100 to 105 plus tomorrow, maybe up to 110 over the next couple of days here. So no big changes. I'm back with that 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Jeff Sessions won't be getting his old job back, at least not for another 6 years. Republican voters headed to the polls today to decide the party's primary runoff race for U.S. Senate. The race pitted former U.S. Attorney General and Senator from Alabama, Jeff Sessions, against former Auburn and Ole Miss head football coach Tommy Tuberville. Coach Tuberville has another win to add to his record after defeating Sessions. Sessions held the Senate seat for 20 years before resigning to join President Trump's administration as U.S. Attorney General. He was forced to resign after getting on the president's bad side for recusing himself from the investigation into Russian meddling with the 2016 election. Trump endorsed Tuberville in the race. Tuberville faces the incumbent Doug Jones, who came out on top of a crowded field in the special election to replace Sessions. The race to fill the District 37 State House of Representatives seat is starting to move forward. David Chisholm of Columbus is the first person to publicly announce an intention to qualify for the special election. Republican Gary Chisholm retired on June 30th. Governor Tate Reeves is yet to set a special election date or qualifying date. District 37 covers portions of Lowndes, Clay, and Oktibbeha counties. The next time you visit the Ole Miss campus, you might notice a big change. The 30-foot Confederate monument that has been standing at the Circle on University Avenue for over 100 years is gone. Crews spent the day relocating the statue to a cemetery there on campus. As Quentin Smith reports, those who pushed for this change said they always had faith this day would come.
This is the statue that was once the most prominent image at the center of campus at Ole Miss. Now the statue has a new home. Work crews spent hours relocating the statue to Confederate Cemetery. It's a move Ole Miss graduate Leah Davis says she's happy to see.
It's been a long time coming. I think my initial reaction was it's about time.
See, Davis helped write the initial resolution to have the monument relocated.
It's a huge, ugly reminder of the history of the university, how the university was built, regarding integration when James Meredith integrated in 1962. And I just think it was definitely time for the university to put a more positive foot forward and to say that, you know, this is not something that we want to welcome our students, our new prospective students, and our alumni back to campus.
She says it took a lot of hard work and dedication from herself and other student organizations to get to this point. The recent graduate always remained hopeful that the relocation would happen. Now she's excited because of the impact it'll have on those coming after her.
My sister's starting at Ole Miss in the fall, so she can walk onto that campus and not have that monument when she goes to class every day, when she walks towards the James Meredith statue.
Just last month, trustees on the institutions of higher learning approved the relocation. And while Davis is happy the monument will have a new home, she's not happy about the future plans to spruce up the cemetery to highlight its latest addition.
That Confederate cemetery was kind of hidden on campus, and it was just being maintained, and so that's the reason why the statue was requested to be relocated there. And so I don't think that any more glorification should happen to Confederate symbols whatsoever. So I think it's very disheartening.
The Confederate monument has stood tall on Ole Miss's campus since 1906. The relocation cost to bring it here to Confederate Cemetery will cost just over $1 million. That money will be privately funded. Reporting in Oxford, Quentin Smith, WCBI News.
Chancellor Glenn Boyce issued a statement saying today's relocation is a meaningful change for our community. To read his statement in full, just visit our website at WCBI.com. All right, we're going to send things back over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Keith, I guess just the same old song and dance, huh?
It's easy in the weather department right now, but
hey, take a vacation.
Yeah, I was doing my walk tonight. Some folks were yelling at me, wondering if I could turn the heat down a little bit. I'd love to. But we do have at least a chance for some spotty showers here and some storms to at least give some temporary relief over the next couple of days. Your full forecast is next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
All right, let's take a look at the tropical Atlantic. We've already had 6 named storms so far this season. We are not even at peak. That comes in September. The last one was Faye last week. Gonzalo will be the next one, and we'll just see what happens later on. But currently, the tropical Atlantic is nice and quiet. Just sleep, tropical Atlantic. We don't need any more storms around here. That's for sure. Here's our first alert forecast. We got a great looking pup here, Bree. Temperatures, heat indices, not so nice to look at. Mid-90s. We may see the heat index 100 to 110 over the next couple of days, but there will be a chance for some storms here, so not a complete loss. If you're looking forward to fall, I know I certainly am. We are advertising the average highs here still in the 90s through early September, and then by September 8th, I do believe, we get below 90 in Columbus, and then that descent continues by October, November, December. Will be in the 70s, 60s, and 50s, something to look forward to. If you don't like the heat or humidity, the showers and storms we had earlier in the region today have gone by the wayside. Let's check out some time lapses. Our Alpha Insurance Camera Network from Columbus, we showed you that earlier, and Louisville, Mississippi, Tupelo, Vernon there at Durham's Pharmacy. Not too shabby here if you were out and about over the last couple of hours. Pretty nice, pretty warm though. 78 at the base in Columbus, 80 in Tupelo, 81 in Meridian, 78 Birmingham, 80 in Hattiesburg and Mobile. The dew points, well, this tells the story. Mid-70s, that's very muggy air. Temperatures can't get below those numbers, so it looks like our lows will be in the 70s here. Calm wind, maybe some patchy ground fog, nothing really to be concerned about. Tomorrow in Winona, a lot of sunshine early. We start out in the 70s. By midday and into the afternoon, there will be a chance for some scattered showers and storms out there to provide some natural relief. So let's hope for that. Kilmichael, Duck Hill, you'll be in the 90s. The heat index well over 100. Maybe over 105 in some places here. So just be advised, plenty of water and hats and whatever you need to do to stay cool and out of the sun right now. Mid-90s, a pretty good bet across the region, but temperatures and the heat index here based on the fact that we will have no storm in your backyard. If you get a storm or some cloud cover, that will throw the temperature forecast off a little bit, but let's just say it's just going to be warm and sticky all day long here. Notice by mid-afternoon, we may start to see some of those isolated to scattered showers and storms. Lightning, downpour, some nice refreshing breezes. They'll go away. Maybe some rainbows too. We had a few of those today. This is rainbow season if you get one of those afternoon showers or thunder showers. And we may see a few more as we get into our Thursday too. All right, here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. No big changes here. Pretty easy in the weather department. A chance for some showers and storms each and every day, anywhere from about 20 to 40%, so we'll split the difference about 30% here. Highs will be very toasty, lows very warm too. The heat index 100 to 105 plus.
Some Calhoun County residents will need to take extra precautions with cooking and making their coffee in the morning. The Big Creek Water Association is issuing a boil water notice for all customers north of the booster station on County Road 314. Now, this includes County Roads 320, 319, 300, and 302. A water leak caused a loss of pressure in the line.
Residential construction in West Tupelo is driving commercial development. We'll have that story coming up on WCBI News.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back, everyone. Tupelo's residential population is moving. Now retail development is following it. Our Riley Martin has more on a multi-million-dollar commercial project going up in the All-America City.
For about a week now, crews have been busy at this parcel of land on Cully Road. They are laying the groundwork for what will be Market Center number 2. Iuka-based Brooks Grocery will anchor the $5 million project, which will also include other retail spaces.
Neighborhood shopping centers are becoming a really thing of the future because the big shopping centers, it's got the massive parking lots and all the massive crowds, are not as favorable as the neighborhood shopping centers now. It's just a trend.
Jess May is the architect for the project and says Brooks Grocery and retail spaces will attract customers and other businesses.
Along this Coley Road corridor here, I think this is going to help develop other businesses through here because, I mean, there's going to be a lot of foot traffic coming from the residential areas around here that will come through here, and other businesses will, I think, will pop up in the area to catch some of that traffic coming from the residential areas.
For years, grocery stores went to other parts of the city, but recently residential construction has taken off in West Tupelo, and that's left a void in commercial development.
Tupelo is pretty well served in most categories, but on the west side of town it's heavy populated, and most of the new development housing are on this side of town, so the need for a grocery store has been here for several years, and now I think this will be a real additive to the neighborhood.
Cleveland says COVID-19 hasn't hampered construction on Market Center 2 or other commercial projects. In fact, he says several businesses have expressed interest in leasing space at the retail center. In Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Cleveland estimates Market Center 2 could be open within the next 10 months. Well, official changes have been made to the high school fall athletics season. More information on that when we come back.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
The Mississippi High School Athletic Association deciding the fate of fall sports. The good news, the 2020 football season will be better late than never. The executive committee approved a plan that pushes practice back until August 17th, and game 1 of the season will move from August 21st to September 4th. 1A, 5A, and 6A will now play 10 games, whereas 2A, 3A, and 4A will play 9 games this season. However, the bad news, games in the original first 2 weeks will not be made up. That means we're losing a lot of very good high school football, such as the Little Egg Bowl, as well as Noxubee County and Louisville, just to name a couple. This is a fluid situation. We will continue to update you as information becomes available. Alabama week continues on the high school football tour. Stop number 23 checks in with the Lamar County Bulldogs, continuing on with a rebuild. Take a listen.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour is brought to you by Itawamba Community College, Cannon Ford of Starkville, Monroe County Farm Bureau, Max South Broadband, and the Bank of Vernon.
Vernon is loaded and ready to go for the 2020 season.
I would say the desire to be out here, it's a fun spirit this year. These guys are looking forward to every day they come in excited to be here, and to be honest, they would stay here all night if we'd let them.
Coming off a rebuilding year, the Bulldogs are ready to get back to winning.
You know, last season seems like start to finish, we kept getting in our own way, and we had a lot of struggles throughout the year, and we did have a young team and a young nucleus, and you know, we had 2 very successful years prior to that.
Last year we kind of struggled to be a team. This year we're going to try to make a team better.
I had a really bad attitude last year, and I think this year if we go into the season with a better attitude, we should come out better with a better record.
However, that was just a bump in the road for Vernon. In terms of turning things back around, Bradford says it starts with focusing on the team's core values and playing a Vernon style of football. As to what that entails, Bradford says
a passion and a desire to do things correctly. You know, when it comes to your effort level and your technique and, you know, being accountable to your teammates.
I'll come together as a family and good coaching staff, and got a good group of big people, big kids.
The Bulldogs always look forward to fierce rivalries that Lamar County has to offer, such as Sulligent and South Lamar. For those matchups this season, the Bulldogs want to come out on top.
There's really good football in Lamar County with South Lamar, Sulligent, and Vernon all together, and so it's just usually a war whenever we come together.
We're going to try our best and I'll take them down this year. I feel like we have all the skill, all the technique we need to beat basically anybody.
Step 1 of getting those wins on the board this season, leadership.
This is going to be another year of us being extremely young, but you know, not necessarily that we're looking at not being successful. It's just we've got a lot of new players and a lot of kids that are moving up from the junior high program. So we're really excited to go in and see. But there are question marks on both sides of the ball.
Vernon starts the season off with a road match against South Lamar on August 21st. With the Bulldogs on the high school football tour, Courtney Robb, WCBI Sports.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour with Lamar County High School is brought to you by Alicia Clark of Alpha Insurance in Vernon, Shop and Save, and J-San Flooring Professionals.
That's it for sports. We'll have more for you when we come back.
Once again, technology fails us, and our Mega Millions feed was a bust, but never fear, we have your numbers right here, so grab your tickets and good luck. Tonight's winning numbers are 6, 26, 55, 56, 64. The Mega Ball is 22, and the Mega Plier is 4 times. And remember, if you're the winner, you know where to find us. Now let's try our weather luck with Keith's last look at our forecast.
We were trying to get somebody to find the pot of gold at the Rainbow in Louisville this evening. Not a word, not a peep. Nothing so far, so we'll see. Temperatures tomorrow, mid-90s. Decent chance for maybe a spotty shower storm in some locales, but don't bet the farm on it tomorrow, but an opportunity for some natural relief here. Plenty of heat and humidity, Scott, going forward.
Hey, on the bright side, maybe somebody is a winner and they'll give us a call, right? Fingers crossed. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.